I couldn't resist just to follow up on something concerning Haile Selassie and black people. You understand? And the lost sheep of the house of Israel. For all that people have to say negative, whether it's so-called Ethiopians from Ethiopia, or whether it's lost sheep folk out here in the West, in the Western Hemisphere, ask yourselves this: is Africa better off without Haile Selassie after these 40 or so years? Or was Africa better off with Haile Selassie? Is Ethiopia better off without Haile Selassie? In other words, are black people in the West, are we in a better situation after the time of Haile Selassie? Or are we in a worse situation? You understand? I mean, we can even go back to maybe even the 30s. And black people's situation, in a sense, was better off from a real spiritual, psychological perspective. Yeah, white man was still lynching, and he was doing his devilishment through his white domination system and white supremacy. You understand? And we didn't have so-called legal rights. Now we got a couple of Negroes, you understand, who have made it. Now we have a half-black, half-white Barack Obama, who's running for president, who just kind of seduced everybody, and you got all kind of black people putting their vain hopes and ambitions on this man, saying he's the first black he's half black. I mean, for all the things that people had to say about his imperial majesty, because they say, oh, his majesty is really a white man, or he's not really a black man, he's not really Ethiopian, he's not really African and all that. His roots are more black and more Hebrew and more Israelite, you understand, than Barack Obama, you understand, and then you and your mama. You know what I'm saying? So black people need to, first of all, just ask themselves some basic questions. And Ethiopians in particular, these proud Ethiopians who are proud of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, yet they're living like Babylonians in Babylon and babbling on, you understand, about Haile Selassie this and Haile Selassie that. Are they better off now? You understand? Are they better off trying to live like African Americans while still trying to maintain this kind of idea that we are Ethiopians and we are proud people and rah 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 rah, we're not like you and you're not really Ethiopians and you're not really, you know, Africans and all this kind of garbage? It's garbage. Just ask yourself a simple question. Are Africans better off after Haile Selassie, without Haile Selassie? You understand? Are Ethiopians better off? Are black people in the West better off? Are you really better off? Now here's the next point on that we couldn't resist this, but we had to just put this in there. You understand? And we're just asking a couple of questions, and be honest with yourself and ask yourself, you understand, about these things too. People talk about the Jews this, talking about the non-ethnic white so-called Jews, the Jews this and the Jews that. You know what the thing that the Jews have? They have a better respect. I'm talking about the white so-called Jews. They have a better respect for one of their own. They have a better respect. They have more loyalty and allegiance. You understand? And they, even by not being the ethnic people, but being converted people, they take the word of Torah and the word of Scripture more as their own, or at least as instruction that will bless them, than you Negroes. You Negroes talking about ancient Kemet and the walls of ancient Kemet and all Scripture come from ancient Kemet, so forth and so on. So why don't you take your monkey asses back to ancient Kemet? Or to modern Egypt? Why don't you go back over there right now? How come Dr. York didn't go back to Sudan, where he talked about being so loved and his roots and from the Mahdi and this and that? How come he didn't take your asses over to Sudan? You understand? We could even say perhaps he and y'all are responsible for what's going on in Darfur. Why wasn't you over there? You had the money to set up a little Egyptian Disneyland down in Eatonton, Georgia. How come you didn't go to Africa? I mean, Africa is a big place, man. It's a really, really big place. Not everywhere in Africa is like everywhere else in Africa. You could have found some place to set up a Disneyland somewhere in Africa, too. Think about it. See, because niggas are full of hypocrisy and contradiction. You see what I'm saying? And lies. You understand? And a bunch of little dibby conspiracies and everything like that. You know, talking about, oh, Haile Selassie, he is not Christ, he's a fake Christ, so forth and so on. Really? So your situation is better off. Who are you waiting for? What are y'all waiting for? Or what are y'all expecting to happen? Y'all know what's gonna happen next. People are fainting, going crazy, getting bipolar syndromes because they're becoming so confused by all this garbage that they are being taught. Now everybody's after Barack Obama. Barack Obama is gonna be the first black president, and his mama is white. His mama is a white woman, and his father, all we know is he's a picture. Well, that's all we know is he's a picture. You understand? We don't even have anybody that said they really met him. I mean, yeah, there's a couple people jumping up, and the Africans are all like supportive. You know, the Africans say, yes, yes, Barack Obama. The Ethiopians are, you know, they have Ethiopians for Obama. Oh, Barack Obama, yes, yes, Barack Obama. We'll show you the confusion in their mind. You see the Jews, the white non-ethnic Jews? When they was told that they had a little piece of land in Palestine, you know what they did? They packed themselves up. They ran the British roadblock. The British, not roadblock, but the British had a naval blockade. You understand? And they ran this blockade. You understand? They did everything possible, overtly, covertly, to capture their land, because they said that they believed that God gave them this land, you know, and they did what they had to do to get that land over there. Now, Haile Selassie gives some Negroes over here, you understand, who requested land, give them land, and the first thing y'all do is run after civil rights. You did the same thing, you understand, in the time of His Imperial Majesty in the 60s, which was that really bright and dawning time for us as black people, as lost sheep. You did the very same thing to the king of Israel that you're doing right now to the princes and the princesses and the sons and daughters, to us. You're doing the very same thing. It's no different. But the only difference is going to be that the judgment that's going to come down on many monkey-ass heads are going to be much worse. Much worse than what it was in the 60s. You should have learned from Sodom and Gomorrah. You didn't learn nothing from Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Jews, so-called white Jews, you can say they're not really real Jews. They're Khazars, they're Edomites, they are Jebusites, they are what, Canaanites, you know, and all that. It's really true. We can prove all of that. Facts. It's just facts, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? When the word came to them that they had a piece of land that was given to them, so-called, by Britain, you understand, and the Queen of England, really, when you come down to, they ran and they seized their land. However, when we, you understand, and our ancestors was told that they had their own place in the sun, a place where they could carve for themselves in the sun, what did they do? They ran after civil rights. They ran after Martin Luther King. They was like, yes, Martin, civil rights. We're going to go hold hands with white boys and white girls. And now, because these niggas have been poisoned in their mind, just like Jeremiah says in the book of Jeremiah, it's the very same thing Jeremiah talks about with pastors and the false preachers and everything. You know, you find the same thing happening now. Now they're running after Barack Obama, you understand, whose mama was a white woman. What kind of post-traumatic slave stress syndrome do you Negroes have? You understand? But moreover, what kind of judgment is going to come, not just upon y'all, but upon America for this? At this very time when we're talking, you know, about another opportunity for us, our own land, that the King of Kings, you understand, of Ethiopia, the King of Israel, on the throne of David, who can better connect his lineage to the people of the Bible than any other person on the face of this earth. But no, you Negroes, you dumb Negroes. You understand? And I would say you my brothers and sisters, but the Spirit says, no, y'all are dumb Negroes. You understand? And Negro basically means nigger, means black, and the O, omega, means death, or the end of. You blacks have reached your end. You understand? In that false and vain philosophy. Ask yourselves, are y'all really better off? Are you really better off? Are you better off 40 years later? 40 years later, are you better off? Post Haile Selassie, is black Africa better off? Are black people in the West better off? You understand? Since Haile Selassie, since y'all turned your backs You understand? On the king of Israel, since you turned your backs on the anointed, quote, the Christ or the christened King of Kings on the throne of David, are y'all better off? That's the question. What's your answer? What answer will I return to my father and to his angels? What answer will I return to my elder brother? What answer do y'all have?